The following is a production of Medfield TV, Community Shows.
Hello Medfield, welcome to the newest adventure of talking to our town administrator. Looks a little different from the town administrator you saw before. This is Trierweiler, who's been on the job now for a couple of months, and she's going to tell us about her past and how she got to be the town administrator now. So Christine, what's up?
Sure. So I actually grew up in Connecticut. I went to University of Massachusetts at Amherst, where I met my husband, and he convinced me to move to Massachusetts. I first went to planning school at the University of Rhode Island, got my master's degree in city planning, and then I worked for the town of Northbridge for about 2.5 years. And then Medfield advertised looking for an assistant town administrator / town planner, and I met Mike, and that was it. 20 years later.
Yeah, and I was one of the 3 selectmen and appointed you. Who were the other 2? I'm trying to remember.
It was John Harney and Clarence Purvis.
Oh, John and Clarence, okay.
Yeah.
I saw Clarence not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good man.
He pops in to see me every now and then.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's good when he's up. I think
Yeah.
he does say that. But you've enjoyed it so far.
I've enjoyed it. It's been a long and quick 20 years all at once.
Do you find Mike is a hard act to follow?
I think it would be hard for anybody to follow Mike. Yeah, his dedication and commitment to Medfield is something anybody would want to strive for.
We were lucky, weren't we?
Very lucky.
I was amazed how lucky we were.
Yes. Yeah. He's just a tremendous person. He took every decision to heart, and he didn't make any decision in anything in his life lightly, but definitely not in anything.
The only thing bad about Mike was his puns.
Oh.
I don't know if any of you at home ever heard Mike open up, but when he first moved to Medfield, he had no family around, so we invited him to our family for a lot of different things. For our did, he was also a selectman. And all the kids together, when they got together, would talk about Mike's puns. It was always the puns, but it was fun.
He was punning up until the end, let me tell you.
He tried. Okay, so what can you tell us what happened at town meeting that's going to really make a big impact on us?
So I think, given our past town meetings, this was a relatively quiet town meeting. We only had 34 articles at town meeting, which was somewhat smaller than we've had in the past.
Sure is.
And we had 6 or 7 articles on the consent calendar, so we were actually finished before 10 o'clock, which has been rare for us in the last few years. I think the biggest concern is not funding our capital. This is the first time that I can remember that I know of in 20 years that we did not fund any capital. We funded some things from the Park and Rec revolving account, and we funded some things from Water and Sewer Enterprise. We have a municipal building stabilization fund, but we did not fund our typical capital, which is anything from DPW, anything from police, fire. So we're going to go an entire year without any vehicle purchases, in addition to some other items that departments have requested. So I'm very concerned about that.
For the future, right?
I'm concerned about for the future, because I think we presented what we call the balanced budget at town meeting. We have to provide a balanced budget. It took us using $500,000 of free cash to balance that budget, and that included eliminating all of the capital. So in my view of it, it's not technically a balanced budget because we left a significant portion of items unfunded for this year.
And the answer is?
So the answer is we've adopted a new fiscal policy. The Board of Selectmen adopted it in July of 2018. And we are starting to implement that, and we did that at this year's town meeting. So that's why you saw a lesser amount of free cash used. We're putting more money into our savings. We're funding our OPEB, and we've also committed to a new capital committee charter. They are supposed to be starting to meet right now. We're slightly delayed on that. I actually just replaced myself just this past week. Nicholas Milano is the new assistant town administrator. He just started Monday. His expertise is in capital, and he is actually probably in the office right now working on it.
And what's his background in?
He used to be the chief of staff for the mayor of Marlborough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's worked at Mass School Building Authority. He's got quite a little political background, so we're very excited to have him on board and start working on our capital.
That's great.
It'll be really nice, and he'll come up with some funding solutions for us. And our plan this year is to present capital to the warrant committee at the initial warrant committee hearing, so that we're not funding capital at the end.
That's
what happened this year.
Much better idea,
Yeah, so we're kind of completely flipping that process to try and make everybody understand how key it is for capital.
Yeah. Because I'm worried, I have grandchildren in Medfield. I worry about the future very much.
It's a concern for us, and I think that's why the selectmen should be commended for adopting the fiscal policy and sticking to it in the first year. We had a lot of goals that we were able to attain, and I think even the second year will be even better.
And the warrant committee was okay with all that?
Warrant committee has been fantastic.
Good.
We had a lot of new members this year, and they were incredibly dedicated and incredibly helpful moving everything forward at town meeting.
Do you know who the new members are?
There's 2 new members, but I don't believe they've been appointed yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Scott's announced that yet.
I hadn't talked to Scott in a while, so I don't know who the new ones are.
Yeah, I think he's got 2 replacements to do, obviously for Jack Wolf leaving, I don't think he's actually made that replacement.
He's going to be a hard one to replace also.
Absolutely.
Jack Wolf was dynamite.
Yeah, so if anybody's interested, Scott's looking for volunteers for the warrant committee,
Yeah.
which I think is, the warrant committee never gets the amount of credit they deserve for the amount of work and time they put into meetings.
I loved it. No, I did love the warrant committee. I did.
It's good. It's a great committee to really understand how things work and how our budgeting works.
That's exactly, because I've been on the library board before, and I lived in town for a while, but being on the warrant committee I learned a whole different thing about how the town was run, who the people were, face to face. It was amazing how much I learned.
It's great. You get to meet with all the department heads, you're meeting with staff, you're really understanding, kind of the behind the scenes of how Medfield operates. It's a great committee.
And we agreed on absolutely nothing.
That's kind of a good warrant committee.
It is.
It is.
Because you're supposed to represent different people in town, and that's exactly the right thing. And we never had a fight. It was never nasty. It was very healthy, funny disagreements. We teased each other. But I never heard, in all the years I was on the warrant committee, both terms, I never heard anything nasty or angry. Just teasing.
No, they were fantastic to work with this year.
Yeah.
Very
Oh, I'm
helpful,
glad you
especially
did
for me. Obviously not taking over from Mike until almost the end of January. The budget season had already kicked in.
Sure.
So it was nice for us to be able to work together really quickly to get things moving.
That's great.
It's been very good.
So you think they'll do well this year?
I think they're going to be great. I think one of the things I've been working with them is to consolidate some budgets and make things a little easier for them. I think one of the reasons why we had fewer questions than we have at town meeting is that we adopted the idea that we were going to be completely transparent with our town meeting. We had all of the articles posted ahead of town meeting with all the background information. So even though you get your warrant report, the week before town meeting, even if you have time to go through it, you may not understand all of the background information. Say, for example, Danielson Pond. There were a lot of DEP mandates and orders related to the pond. We were able to post all of those. So if that was the article you were interested in,
Sure.
you could do all of your background research before you got to town meeting. So I think that helped all of us understand what the issues were before we got there.
And that's great.
It's going to make it a much easier, and we're starting the budget process also within our fiscal policy, starting it earlier. So normally we didn't meet with department heads until maybe January to start talking about their budgets. I'll start meeting with them early September.
Wow, you're kidding me.
I am. That's what they said.
Wow, that is early.
Yeah, we'll start meeting with them, talking about what they'd like to see for the future, what changes they want to make in their department, where we're going, so that everybody's on the same page before we get to that critical point of January, where things really need to be starting to fall into place.
But it's interesting because we have 2 new chiefs and then
We
a new
do.
head of the highway department.
We do. We have a lot of new faces. The chief assessor's only been here for 5 years. We have a new police chief, a new fire chief. Mo, the DPW director's only been here for 3 years.
Right.
So we have a lot of new faces. The new town administrator's been here for 3 days. So it's,
Well, 20 years actually.
yeah. So we have a lot of new faces, but everybody's eager to take projects on and make changes. And I think the biggest thing we're really trying to do is go through everything and determine if we're providing the services in the most efficient manner. So we're asking everybody to almost rebuild their budget from the ground up, making sure we're doing it correctly.
That's what we did the first year of Proposition 2.5.
That's kind of what this reminds me of, your stories of that.
And I remember that, and that's how I learned so much about how the budgets worked. If you had to start a police department today, what did you have to have? What was necessary? And then go up from there.
That's how we're looking at it.
That's
Although
terrific.
both chiefs assure me that vehicles through capital budget is what they need to make the police department and the fire department move. So
Okay.
they're very keen on their capital. Right now, we're using a borrowed fire truck that we've leased. We actually had a fire truck catch on fire.
You're kidding?
No,
Where?
in the fire station.
In
Right
the
outside.
station?
Right outside. I saw it with my own eyes, or I wouldn't actually believe it.
Oh my
We had
God.
a fire truck catch on fire. Luckily, it was outside of the station, undergoing testing when it happened.
How?
There was an electrical fire.
Jeepers.
I know. So now we're down a fire engine as well, which we had not anticipated having to fund for the next 2 years, but obviously now moves to the top of our capital.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't know about that.
It was a little strange.
And I live nearby, I probably heard we probably didn't hear any fire engines going by because they were all
They were right there.
No siren needed. Oh, that's funny. No, it isn't funny, but it is.
It is. It's, you don't expect it to happen, but apparently it happens quite often.
Yeah, are the new chiefs in town hall very often?
They are. I try to meet with police and fire every Monday, just to go over anything that's happened over the weekend, anything they haven't notified me that I need to know about. I meet with DPW on a daily basis to go over the projects they're working on, and then we instituted monthly department head meetings. So I meet with all the department heads once a month, including school department. So it's been really great to get everybody in the same room and talk about ideas.
Yeah.
And we've been able to solve some problems in-house with departments helping each other, which has been great. So one of those was the buses. There's nowhere to park the buses inside at the Council on Aging. So
Okay.
more recent DPW was able to get them some shelter and get the buses in for just a few storms we had this winter, which was great. So it's good.
Wow. That's good to hear though, that all that stuff's going on.
It's great, but I still keep an open door policy both with residents and department heads. If they have an issue, they know they can come see me at any time, hop in, and we can work through it.
Now, does the school get involved in any of this?
So Dr. Marsden comes to all of our department head meetings, and he and I don't know if you know in the town hall, his office is right above mine. So
I know.
we spend quite a few meetings together going over things that both of us are involved in. We try to make sure everybody's on the same page and we know what each other is doing.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and it makes it great being in the same building. It makes it a lot easier for us.
I
to
remember
get
when we
together.
moved them to the town hall, and I thought, oh, this is great. And
It was
great.
really great, and most people are surprised at the relationship between the schools and the town. I think part of it was the decision
I
to
agree.
put them in the same building.
I thought it was one of the best things we ever did. I'm glad we did it.
Yep, it's great. They're great neighbors above us.
No, but I think because the school is such an important part of the town.
Absolutely.
My kids are grown up, obviously, but I still have grandchildren and now 2 great-grandchildren. So you know that's the way of the world. Everything's going to be new people.
And it's nice to work together. It allows us a lot more collaboration. We have a shared IT department. We now have a shared facilities department. So that's another new department head is our facilities director, Amy Follering. And we have we're just in the process of doing a shared human resources director.
Oh, good. I didn't know that.
So we're working quite closely on a lot of projects together, which is good. It makes it a lot easier for us when it comes to budgeting when we're working on those projects together.
Oh, of course it would. Do you see any big issues coming yet?
I think we have, obviously capital is my number one concern. I think we have a couple other issues. Obviously the Medfield State Hospital, and the Board of Selectmen have a working session on Tuesday to start reviewing some zoning. And that meeting will actually be at the high school. It won't be at the town hall, it'll be at the high school in room 125. I think that's one of the things we really have to start looking at, is what our plan is for that.
Which Tuesday are you going to do this?
This coming Tuesday, September 3rd, yeah.
Okay.
So we'll start going over the working session and start laying out our plan and our timeline to have a special town meeting. The Board of Selectmen are still committed to a special town meeting this fall.
I agree with it. I hope we do. I wish it had happened already.
Yeah, so we'll work on that on Tuesday night.
No, I think most people are asking why is it taking so long?
I think when you're faced with the most important decision that the town of Medfield will face, you don't want to rush it, but I was hired 20 years ago to work on the state hospital project, so I understand.
I know.
It appears to have taken an incredibly long time, but hopefully we'll get that moving on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I hope so. That would be very interesting to go to, see if I can get somebody to go.
That'd be great.
It'd be very good to go, because I was on the original reuse committee for the hospital.
You can get them
And
along
the plans we
with
came up with are very similar to what the new committee came up with. Very
Correct.
similar.
And the development committee has been testing out the master plan this summer, and a lot of their developers that they've been working with agree we should move forward. So
That could be very interesting town meeting though.
I think it would be a very interesting town meeting. We'll take the same approach that we did to the annual town meeting, is to get as many public hearings in place and get as much information online for people to review before we get to the town.
Mhm.
I don't know how many people have actually gone through the full master plan for the site, but Sarah does have it uploaded if anybody would like to see it.
And some people I talked to just want nothing down there. They'd like to see the buildings fall apart.
I think there's a lot of different opinions of what we should do, and we'll hear all of those at town meeting.
I know there is, because I hear it all the time. If I were the dictator, I know what I would do with it.
I'm afraid to ask.
That would be easy. But for one person, it's easy, but get thousands of people to agree on something.
And it's a big decision in the town.
Because it's going to impact the town for generations.
Correct.
It's really going to make a huge difference.
Not something we want to rush into. So, and the Building and Grounds Committee is doing a tremendous job of making sure the buildings are taken care of and the grounds are taken care of up there. So that's another thing we're starting to work on with the department heads is we need a building and grounds maintenance plan. We haven't had one in probably 15, 16 years, a plan for the whole town. And we've been doing things by piecemeal.
Right, yeah.
I know people were very upset about the condition of the public safety building, and that's something we're trying to address, having a plan for all of our public buildings. I think it's important for all the buildings that we have the public going into every day, and we have employees in, should be given the same care that we taking care of our buildings in terms of buildings.
Did people call you directly with complaints?
I don't like to call them complaints.
How about comments?
I like
Questions?
comments, concerns, questions. Yes, and I have no problem with that. Email, phone is the best way to reach me. Walking around at Brothers at lunchtime, anytime.
Could you give your phone number out to everybody?
It's 508-906-3011.
Okay, 3011.
3011.
I think they can remember that. Because I think people should need that, how to get you. I think probably most people call on the selectmen, don't you?
I think some people like to call the selectmen directly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it depends on what your comfort level is. Some people have a relationship with them and would like to call them directly.
I usually get a lot of calls.
Mhm.
I remember that. I think it was healthy.
Oh, I think it's great. We also offer citizens comment at every Board of Selectmen's meeting. You can either call me ahead of time to reserve a spot under citizens comment or show up that evening. Just speak to me before the meeting and we'll make sure you get heard at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah.
We've got a few people there for citizens comment that unfortunately we stayed too late.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
So we try to get them in early.
But the meetings aren't as long as they've been sometimes in the past.
We've been trying to manage our agendas better and get things ahead of time out to everybody so that there's not as much discussion at the meeting and we can make decisions.
Yeah. Do you think most of the 3 selectmen really like their job?
As far as I know, they do. I think so. I think they all take it very seriously.
I think they do.
Absolutely. Everybody's doing their homework. We'll go to the meeting. Everybody's concerned. When people have concerns, so I think they enjoy it.
Yeah, so whose term is up this time? Is it Pete?
No, Gus is chairman currently.
Oh, Gus will be
Yes,
up there.
so Gus will be up. Selectman Murray.
Okay, that's right. I lose track of who's the current chairman, you're right.
I know, the rotating chair
I
is the
know.
only way we keep it straight. No, it's really a good election.
No, I made some good friends with the selectmen.
Mm-hmm.
No question over the years, the 30 years that I was one, but also good friends of the people in the other town boards. I think the relationship is really important. I really do.
We end up spending a lot of time. I don't think people realize how much time a member of the Board of Selectmen spends on issues, not just fielding phone calls and emails, but my phone calls and emails that I'm trying to keep them up to speed in addition to the meetings and all the other things. It's an incredible amount of time that you have to dedicate to it.
I agree.
As you know.
I do, but I also say I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I really did enjoy the warrant committee too. You feel good, you feel you're part of something, you know what's going on. I really did enjoy it very much.
Well, I think it's really nice to see a project through, from beginning to end. I think that's why a lot of people are anxious to have something done at the Medfield State Hospital who've been on the committee. I was on the committee for 20 years, you've clearly been on the committee longer than I was, so it's nice to have some closure to that.
You're darn right.
Yeah.
I'll be thrilled, as long as they do something I agree with.
Well, that's everybody's issue.
No, I really would like to see more assisted living, senior living perhaps instead, but something like that as our population across the world, or certainly our country, is getting older. And the nursing home in downtown Medfield is terrific. They are so good. We volunteer there a lot as a Lions Club. And the staff is so good, they know people by name, they know us by name when we go in to visit, but they don't have enough room.
I
They
know,
were
it's
waiting,
all-
and we need more for that, as people are getting old. I have two friends already in a senior living in another town, and another one's going in September, in another town, because there's no room, nothing like that here. So I wish we could find something like that and keep the people here. I
I
do.
agree. I think the selectmen have heard that both from the
I've told
senior
them all.
study. I know you told them all, from the senior study that we did and from their interaction. I know that, providing senior housing is definitely something that's on their radar.
But senior living, I mean, not senior housing, senior living, people that are handicapped, that can't live alone. I'm lucky I have my own little house, perfect, but some people can't do that anymore. And they need senior living very hard, assisted living, whatever you want to call it. They do need it. And that's part of life, I guess. Getting old is part of life too.
You actually mentioned that, reminding me that we're going to have a unit in Turtlebrook that's available for sale, an affordable unit that's
Oh,
coming.
really? I know one's going up, but I didn't know it was affordable.
Yes, we have an affordable unit, 14 Turtlebrook, which will be going on the market.
Oh, really?
We'll be doing an affordable housing lottery for that, hopefully within the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, that's kind of, I'll just tell you what I think later, but.
It's only the second of the affordable units that we've had do a resale for. So it's been a very successful project for the town to have done that, worked with the developer on that.
Yeah, because I was on the Affordable Housing Committee when we planned it, and it never occurred to me I'd live on that street. Because I've said before, I couldn't have voted on it if it ever occurred to me. But I was in a 6-bedroom house on North Street, why would I want to move? Because I still had, kids around, so, but this was a very good project. I was amazed. I don't know if you remember what the ground looked like before.
I do.
But it looked like a dump, basically dirt, not much green, it was not very pretty. I kept thinking, some developer's gonna make that look nice, and they did a very good
It was
job.
fantastic.
They
It's
did.
been
People
very
loved it there.
successful. At least from the affordable housing standpoint, it's been very successful for us.
I think it was too, and one of the big advantages is close to the police and fire station, it's close to downtown, and it's easy to find, so, very successful.
We're very excited to get moving on that. I'm hoping to have information, and once we do, we'll post it and send it out. I told Roberta we'd send it out to Council on Aging as well, because it is a 55 and over unit. So it does have a different demographic than our usual single-family resales up in Allendale.
So how does somebody apply for that number, unit 17?
So there'll be an application process, and once we have that available, we'll have packages at the senior center, the library, the town hall, we'll have it online.
Same as we did before?
Yeah, same as we did before, same process.
That's good.
It's exciting. It's nice when, in fact, I got the woman who is leading the unit sent me a very nice letter saying that, everything in her life was due to getting that unit, and she couldn't have been happier. She can't wait to see the next person get in it.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
It's really nice when that happens.
That is very nice.
Yeah.
And one of the best things when you go down the street, you can't see which of the affordable units.
Nope, that's a great.
6 of them are
project.
affordable and the rest are not. And there's no way you can tell as you go down the street, and I love that.
It's a great project.
It is. Because you don't want to be embarrassed by having somebody drive down and say, oh, your house is so tiny, you must be broke or whatever, but you really can't get
Yeah.
that feeling at all.
Not at all, especially not there.
Okay, you have anything else going
I'm trying
on?
to think what else is going on. I'm trying to think what we're talking about at the selectmen's meeting. We're talking about parking. We spent a lot of time about parking.
Downtown?
Downtown
That's
parking,
always
which
been an
we've
issue.
always been an issue. It's great to not have parking, because that means our downtown is thriving. We have a lot of great businesses
Right.
and restaurants, and there's First Thursday, so, we're just trying to find out the best way to put everybody, all of us together downtown, so.
Well, that won't be easy, because we certainly worked on that a lot.
It's not gonna be easy, but I think we have some short-term solutions and some long-term solutions, so we'll start addressing those this fall.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a busy time at town hall right now.
Yeah. You're gonna have enough time to come down here every month and review for us?
Absolutely.
You will?
Absolutely, I'll bring my own coffee next time.
Just getting cold? No, but I think people really liked the rundown that Mike Sullivan gave on everything in all the different departments. They really liked that just everything in a nutshell.
Well, this is one of Michael's favorite things to do, so
And he seemed to like it.
he really
He
enjoyed
did,
it.
and did a good job, and you will too.
Thank you.
I know you will.
I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Christine. Do you have any farewell words to the audience?
Yeah, just that, my door is always open if anybody needs anything. call me, email me, stop by. I'm usually always there, so I'm actually headed back there right now. So if you need me, stop by.
And your desk is neater than Mr. Sullivan's desk?
Right now it is. Talk to me again at town meeting time, but right now it's fairly clean.
Now, people at home probably didn't, it used to be jokes about Sullivan's desk, it was piled up like this, but you could go in and say you had a question about something, he could reach into the pile and pull out the right piece of paper. I never know how he did that.
It never ceased to amaze me.
Me either.
And we were talking before we started filming that I was looking for something of his yesterday, and I had to sit there and think how his brain would have worked and where he would
I
have
often wondered
kept
that.
it.
Well, we'll see how your desk looks.
I'll try and keep it a little cleaner.
Okay, well, thank you, Christine, for coming, I appreciate that very much.
Thank you very much.
And remember, if anybody wants to call Christine directly, 508-906-3011.
That's it?
Right?
Perfect.
That's it?
Great.
Okay, well, once again, thank you for watching Medfield TV, and if anybody has any ideas on somebody they'd like me to interview, contact me at annmedfield@verizon.net. Always glad to service, and thanks for watching Medfield TV.
The proceeding was a production of Medfield TV, Community Shows.